Hello guys! Today my finished object, and I've posted already a giveaway for April 2016, so you can have a look. Because this hat, the one that I'm going to talk about, which is this one, is my giveaway, a prize for April giveaway hat. So go and check it out. This video is more for knitters because I will try to explain how I actually knitted it. So now what I used to knit this hat, I used needles. Well, I used also back these ones. That's 40 centimeters wire, so I don't have to use a magic loop. This is circular needles. So basically I was knitting in the round, and that's Pony 3.5 millimeters needles. And that's my case. Lavender. Next thing you need is yarn, and the one that I used 100% acrylic Hayfield yarn, and this is shade 0998. Also, I used a lighter one, the same company, which is 0730, and a mohair yarn that I got from my mom, and this is kind of grenishy color. So what I did, I took my needles, I took yarn, and the first two that I worked was those two. I mixed them together and I casted on 80 stitches using a long tail cast on. And that's the first time I used that cast on for a hat, and it isn't stretchy. So next thing, probably you're thinking how big this hat is. Measure it, and so I can tell you that it fits me, which is, my hat is 22 inches, which is 56 centimeters, but if I don't stretch this hat and I would just put it flat, it will show me that it's 34 centimeters. So I would say teenager or myself, although acrylic has a feature that it may stretch. So yes. If you have a bigger head that I have, 22 inches, no way it's going to fit you. Now, so in regards height, it is 25 centimeters, including pom-pom, which is 10 inches. I used 2x2 ribbing, which means I did two knits and 2 purls for around 12 rows. And then I changed the color for lighter blue and mohair color, and I did 1 knit row. Then I wanted to put a center in my hat, so the rest is just pure stockinette stitch, which is knit, in the round is just knit, and I focused on this part. So while I was getting to the middle part, let's say after 24 stitches knit, I should end up on the purl side of my ribbing, and at that time I still did 2 purls, and then when I had knit, I added in the middle between those 2 stitches an extra stitch, and I did that 4 times. I did 2 purl, and then I continued around knitting until I hit the same spot. I repeated that twice, and then when I was coming back again, I extended this area. Instead of having 2 purls, now I had 3. And at that point, I was twisting stitches to get a nice cable. And I decided that I will do one cable one side, other cable other side. So that part is repeated over here again. And then I went around. I didn't make sure that you don't forget that there's 3 stitches over here too. On the second round, I increased this area to 4 stitches now, and I maintained it up till 27 stitches over here overall, and I was just working to flip 3 stitches, and I was always getting the outside knit stitch to the center from one side on or from another side. So that's what I've done. Sometimes I made randomly just a knitting row where the cable was in, so I got slightly bigger section of stretch cable, not so tight. So you can see I had it here and here. Yeah, so randomly, I just didn't want to have it so tight. although I could see that I was just going tight over here. When it came to decreases, here when I start doing them, I decrease on both sides over here of the knit. So I did knit 2 together, and I did the opposite of knitting 2 together. So where the goes to the other side, you can do it with PSSO, I think, if I'm right, please correct me. And then I figured that I will divide the back section into the 3 points where I put markers. And that time I was gathering 3 stitches and receiving 1 stitch. So basically I was sliding 2 stitches knitwise. I was knitting the 3rd stitch, and then I was moving those 2 stitches onto that 1 knitted stitch. I was receiving 1 stitch, which basically meant that I was minus 2 stitches. And I did that over here. When I was going into section that I had a few stitches, not so much, I decided that I do the same 3 stitches decrease when you receive 1, when I had my cables to finish this nicely and then join it on the top. I can write down free pattern. Probably I will anyway, just to have a glimpse, especially on my project page. I'm just wondering how to write it down to make it clear enough. And then I made a pom-pom, and I decided that I just use 1 yarn, which was the blue one, and I made a pom-pom on the pom-pom maker, and I just filmed a bit for you over here so you could see how I wrapped the yarn on one side and on the other side, and then how I cut it, and then how I tied it together. Yeah, and then unfortunately I didn't film how I actually saw those 2 things together, and to be honest, that job was made by my mom. So I hope you like it. If you like it, you can recreate it yourself. Write it down if you need that pattern. Hopefully it's there now when you're watching it. And if you have a chance to read it and you see that some changes should be made, please let me know too. And other than that, if you're not a knitter and you will want to get it, hopefully it's still April 2016 and you can join my giveaway. So go check and find that video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! And I love about this yarn, what I can say is about the colorway. I love all those colors, and I can say I'm quite okay with the size of the stripes. They're not even, but they're quite nice. Although take for consideration that I cast it on 60 stitches, not 64. So some of them would be smaller, tinier.